Imagine your morning routine. You're spreading butter on a warm piece of toast or drizzling olive oil over a salad for lunch. Maybe you're frying eggs in butter or sauteing veggies in canola oil for dinner. These everyday choices might seem trivial, but a major new study suggests they could shape how long you live. Published in JAMA Internal Medicine in March 2025, this research pits butter against plant-based oils, and the results might make you rethink that next pat of butter on your mashed potatoes. This isn't a small experiment cooked up in a lab. It's a colossal cohort study involving over 221,000 U.S. health professionals, nurses and doctors from the Nurses' Health Study, Nurses' Health Study 2, and the Health Professionals Follow-Up Study. Researchers tracked their diets and health outcomes for up to 33 years, amassing a treasure trove of data on how fats affect longevity. The focus? Butter versus plant-based oils like olive, canola, and soybean. Here's what they found. Butter's downside. People who ate the most butter faced a 15% higher risk of premature death compared to those who ate the least. That included a 14% increased risk of dying from cardiovascular disease and an 18% higher risk from cancer. Plant oils upside. Those who consumed the most plant-based oils enjoyed a 16% lower risk of overall mortality. Specifically, they had a 21% lower risk of cardiovascular death and a 13% lower risk of cancer-related death. The swap that pays off. Replacing just 10 grams of butter daily, less than a tablespoon, with plant oils was linked to a 17% drop in both total mortality and cancer deaths. Think about that for a second. That's the difference between buttering your dinner roll or dipping it in olive oil. A small tweak, but according to this study, it could add years to your life. Let's break it down with some real-world examples. Eating 10 grams of butter daily. Picture 2 pats on your breakfast toast. Raise the risk of death from all causes by 5%. Over time, that adds up, especially if butter's a staple in your biscuits, popcorn, or pasta sauces. Higher intake of olive, canola, or soybean oil was tied to living longer. Olive oil shone brightest, likely thanks to its heart-friendly monounsaturated fats and antioxidants. Imagine drizzling it over roasted veggies or using it in a homemade salad dressing. Those choices could cut your risk of heart disease by a fifth. Swapping butter for plant oils didn't just lower heart disease risk, it also reduced cancer mortality. That's a surprising bonus, hinting that fats might influence more than just your ticker. Why does this happen? Butter's loaded with saturated fats, which boost LDL cholesterol and clog arteries. Plant-based oils, rich in unsaturated fats, do the opposite. They lower LDL and reduce inflammation. Take olive oil. It's a cornerstone of the Mediterranean diet, famous for keeping hearts healthy and people living longer. Meanwhile, butter's recent comeback, think butter coffee or all-natural baking trends, might need a reality check. The study's lead author, Yu Zhang, nailed it. A key difference between butter and oil is the types of fatty acids contained in them. Butter-saturated fats are old news for raising cholesterol, but this study suggests they might also fuel inflammation linked to cancer. Plant oils packed with monounsaturated, like olive oil, and polyunsaturated fats, like canola, seem to fight that inflammation and protect your cells. Experts see a few mechanisms at play. Swapping butter for oils cuts LDL cholesterol by about 10%, which should lower death risk by 3%. But the study found a bigger drop, 17%, hinting at extra benefits beyond cholesterol. Canola and soybean oils bring linoleic acid, which might boost heart and cellular health in ways we're still figuring out. Its monounsaturated fats and polyphenol antioxidants could explain why it's so good at slashing cardiovascular risk. Not all oils are equal, though. Corn and sunflower oils didn't show clear benefits or harms, suggesting olive and canola might be the MVPs here. So next time you're stir-frying chicken, maybe reach for canola over butter. It's a choice backed by science. This study's impressive, but it's not flawless. Observation, not proof. It's a cohort study, so it shows links, not causes. The researchers adjusted for things like age, smoking, and exercise, but hidden factors could still muddy the waters. Health pro-bias: participants were health professionals, folks who might already eat better or exercise more than the average person. For instance, the biggest butter eaters smoked more, 10.7% versus 4.7% in the low butter group. Is butter the culprit or a sign of other bad habits? Food combos. The study didn't dive into how butter and oils were eaten. Butter often pairs with white bread or sugary pastries, while olive oil might top a kale salad. Those patterns matter. What about mixing fats, like starting a dish with butter for flavor and finishing with sesame oil? The study doesn't cover that, leaving some real-life questions unanswered. Still, it's a strong nudge to lean toward plant oils when you can. This study fits into a decades-long debate about fats. Back in the 1970s, the message was clear: cut saturated fats like butter and embrace polyunsaturated fats like corn oil. Early heart disease studies drove this shift, urging people to ditch butter for margarine or vegetable oils. By the 1990s, though, cracks appeared. Some argued saturated fats weren't the enemy, and butter started creeping back into favor. In 2016, a rehash of the Minnesota coronary experiment muddied things further. It found no survival boost from swapping butter for linoleic-rich oils, despite lower cholesterol, fueling the butter is back hype. Cookbooks and blogs celebrated butter's return, with recipes for butter-drenched steaks or shortbread cookies. But this 2025 study swings the pendulum again. It doubles down on unsaturated fats, especially monounsaturated ones like olive oil, as the gold standard. It's not just about avoiding heart attacks anymore. It's about dodging cancer and living longer overall. So while butter's had its moments, science keeps pointing us toward oils. Think olive oil on your bruschetta instead of butter on your baguette. What does this mean for your kitchen? You don't need to toss the butter dish, just tweak a few habits. Breakfast: skip the butter on toast and try mashed avocado or a splash of olive oil with sea salt. Dinner: saute your garlic shrimp in canola oil instead of butter, or drizzle olive oil over mashed potatoes for a Mediterranean twist. Snacks: pop popcorn in a bit of olive oil rather than drenching it in butter. These swaps aren't drastic. Nobody's saying you can't enjoy a buttery croissant now and then. But if this study's right, choosing plant oils more often could stack the odds in your favor. Picture this: you're baking muffins for the family. Swap half the butter for canola oil, and you've got a treat that's tastier and healthier. This massive study isn't here to vilify butter. It's a call to rethink how we use it. Plant-based oils like olive, canola, and soybean come out on top, linked to lower risks of heart disease, cancer, and early death. Butter's not poison, but it's not your best friend either. So next time you're cooking pasta or scrambling eggs, consider reaching for the olive oil. It's a simple switch that might just help you stick around for more meals and more life. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to leave them below. If you found this video helpful, we'd appreciate it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.